One of F1's most popular and well-versed team bosses, Guenther Steiner, has left his role in charge of Haas. It's nothing but a shock move that has raised some serious questions about the team's outlook and the future. A lot of people are considering Haas as almost unthinkable without Steiner. Steiner's shock departure, just 6 weeks before the start of the new F1 season, follows a mutual agreement with team owner Gene Haas not to renew his contract. But what really happened between the two parties, and what's there to know about us? Let's find out right now in this video. Guenther Steiner's departure from Haas is, of course, a loss for Formula One, but it's also a significant blow to the team he's leaving behind, raising questions about its owner, Gene Haas's long-term goals. Guenther Steiner left his position as team principal of Haas after 10 years in charge, as announced by the Formula One on last week's Wednesday. This surprise announcement means the American team, for the first time since its debut in 2016, will go into a new season not under Steiner's popular stewardship. With Haas struggling to show any tangible progress in 2023, the departure of one of F1's most tenured team principals for a rookie team boss, Ayao Komatsu, represents a massive gamble by Gene Haas at what seems to be a critical moment in the team's existence. Komatsu has also played an integral role in Haas' F1 journey to date, having been part of the squad since its debut year in 2016. Steiner was also the one who made F1's strongest team setup possible, became an unexpected star of Netflix's Drive to Survive series, and saved it from likely extinction during the COVID-19 pandemic. But did Drive to Survive cult status ultimately cause Steiner problems? Although he was the team's boss at F1's smallest outfit, Steiner had been catapulted into wider stardom in recent years thanks to Netflix's Drive to Survive, which captured the Italian's characteristically forthright and sometimes expletive-laden views, exposing him to a new audience. On one occasion, he was asked if he was ever conscious that his newfound celebrity status could have been an issue for Gene Haas or other employees at the team. Steiner replied, "Not really, but thinking back now, it could have." However, others think that in the end, that celebrity gave the team a lot of exposure and brought in very good sponsors like MoneyGram because they liked that and that they could use that. But as per Steiner's opinion, there are always some positives and negatives attached to a thing. He mentioned that there were some positives in that, and maybe someone else brought up the negatives. There are things you cannot always plan for because I was not out there trying to look for celebrities. It happened to me, and only the people who know me know that, so I'm okay with that. He added, "I didn't get up in the morning to be a celebrity. I get up in the morning to work, but I think it worked a lot in favor of the team because without that, maybe it would have been closed before." Though it seems that Steiner's exit may bring some consequences to the team he left behind. But the team's owner, Gene Haas, had his own reasons for Steiner's split with Haas. In an interview with F1 earlier this week, Gene Haas stated that Steiner's departure ultimately came down to performance of the team on the track, and that, while he was not sitting here saying it's Guenther's fault, he felt it was time to make a change because he was embarrassed that we haven't been able to do better, given their technical partnership with F1 giants Ferrari. But Steiner, on the other hand, didn't seem to be quite satisfied with Gene's choice of words for him. He was also asked if he had a response to the use of the word embarrassing. He said that not everybody can choose their words, but at the same time, they should also think about the people who have worked for them and put a lot of effort in. Obviously, when you say these things, in the end, you have to live with the consequences, he added. Steiner also mentioned how he was informed about the whole thing. According to him, it was conveyed to him over a phone call. He told a news source that Gene had called him and told him that he didn't want to extend the contract which was up at the end of the season. Steiner said that at the time he couldn't quite figure out if it was a surprise for him, but apparently it was one. However, as per Steiner's opinion, it is Gene Haas who owns the team and has full authority to do what he wants and take his decisions. Steiner added, "I think whether a change was needed can be answered only in time. I cannot answer that one because otherwise I could say what is happening in the future." Gene thought that is the way he wants to take the team forward, and as I said, it's his decision, not my one. He owns the place, so if you own something, you've got the right to do what you want. When asked about Haas's model, and if it is the best approach moving forward, Steiner took the opportunity to point out just how much F1 has changed in recent years, particularly with the introduction of a cost cap, and how heavily some rival teams have been investing around that, whether that be new factories, wind tunnels, or dedicated engine divisions. "Since we had this model 10 years ago when we started, F1 has changed a lot," he said. "You guys have seen how much F1 changed over the COVID period, how much it grew, how much bigger it got, how different it got with the budget cap, how we used the budget cap to get ideas of how to do things. Steiner also added that there are other teams who are not gearing up now in the competition, but they had started that way before, which means that everyone is getting stronger while investing a lot in the future of F1. As for Haas's future plan, Steiner said that he is no one to talk about that, and that he's not interested in that anymore. He said that Gene did share the future model with him in the beginning when they started, but according to Steiner, it's not time relevant anymore. But who am I to say that? He added. And there are other people in the game who are as shocked with Steiner's exit as you and I, like former British racing driver Damon Hill. While speaking on a podcast, Damon Hill labelled Guenther Steiner's departure as a huge loss to not just Haas, but to F1 as a whole. The Italian-American was one of the most popular individuals in the paddock and also a fan favourite. Since Steiner had such a critical role in helping the Haas team make it to F1, Hill believes it was the 58-year-old's team, even though he did not own it. Guenther was actually one of the masterminds of putting the whole thing together. Gene was really the investor, explained Hill. The 1996 F1 champion then explained how Steiner's sudden rise in fame became too much for some people to handle. While Hill did not name Gene Haas, it is likely that he was referring to the American team owner, since all this while the Briton was talking about him. On a side note, Guenther Steiner's stint at Haas has been notable for more than just team leadership. His appearances in the Drive to Survive series have made him a Formula One celebrity. Steiner, known for his candor, occasional profanity, and noteworthy incidents such as shattering his office door, has carved out a distinct niche for himself in the F1 world, becoming one of the sport's most recognizable individuals. However, the real question looms: will Haas see improvements under Ayao Komatsu's leadership succeeding Steiner? Well, this outcome remains uncertain, but what his thoughts on the whole is, Haas will continue to suffer management and direction issues until Gene Haas makes wise hires for both business and technical components of the team. At present, Haas appears directionless. If Steiner wasn't the factor holding the team back, which is highly doubtful, one must question the team's purpose and future in Formula One. The need for strong, decisive leadership and technical direction has never been more apparent for Haas. But there's another important question that you might think of, and that is, what would Steiner do now after exiting Haas? Steiner is believed to be under an anti-competition contractual deal, which can be temporarily implemented, despite the fact that his contract was not extended rather than terminated following his departure from Haas. This is in contrast to the non-working positions that F1 team employees might be placed in when they agree to sign with another team before leaving their current one. But regardless of the situation right now, Steiner's exit from Haas is definitely a huge blow, and many are wondering if the racing team will be able to cope with that. But what are your thoughts on it though? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.